This tutorial we're going to cover creating door and frame elevations for a door and hardware schedule. And here we have a schedule that's already opened up. You have the customer and the job name selected. Now we'll be using this tab right here, door and frame elevations. It's a little bit different than the basic elevations, which we cover in a different tutorial. So we'll click on this tab, and you've got elevations for metal doors, wood doors, and metal frames. So we'll start off with the metal doors. These are just some of the different things you can do. There's a single metal door flush, a pair of metal doors flush, a single door with a vision light, a pair with a vision light, and on down. Narrow light, half glass, full glass, Dutch door, louver. You also have 2-panel, 4-panel, 6-panel, and 8-panel. So to add an elevation, you just simply click the green button, and from here you can type in, just fill in the blanks like the elevation, and this elevation you want to match whatever the elevation letter is on your door and hardware schedule for a flush door. So let's say it's F, and then you just simply type in a file name, and this is a name that it's going to be saved under. So we'll call this one flush metal door, and we click on the save file button, and you'll just pick a folder, and then you can leave it in that folder, or you can even make a new folder if you want to create a folder under a specific job name. So whatever you want to call it, I'm just going to leave it under my documents folder. I'll say OK. And it tells me the file has been saved to documents and then that file name. So I'll say OK. So I could go to Windows Explorer, then I could find that PNG file with that name. So now we can close the window. Now it doesn't show up in here yet, so you have to click the refresh button, and that will refresh the path that the file was saved under. And you'll just go down and do the same thing with all the different doors that you want to create a drawing for. We'll give you an example. Just open up a few more of these. Here's a vision light. You see it shows the vision light. Now it has a little section over here on these for notes. And that means I can type in, maybe I want to say 1/4 inch clear laminate if I can spell it right, clear laminate glass. And I can also type 10 by 10 light, because it could be a 12 by 12 light, so you can specify what size the light would be. And then here I'm going to do again the elevation name or symbol, but it has to match whatever's on your door schedule for a door with a vision light. And again, just give it a name. We'll just say single vision. Save. We'll just use same documents folder. And again, I'll click refresh. And so any one of these that have a path in them will show up in your door schedule. I'll show you real quick what it looks like. So we go past that, and there's the metal door. Shows the elevation, and there's the vision door. Okay, so back over here. Now eventually we will be phasing this basic elevation out. I think some of that is still used. Yeah, there are some things. So you can use a combination of these. But again, eventually this will be phased out. You can replace these just by, if you already have schedules built with using this form here, just uncheck these and then add them back in through the door frame elevations. You can use a combination of these if you like. So if I were to go back to my door schedule, if I keep scrolling, you can see there's the drawings we used to use, pretty basic frames and everything. So let's go back here. So these are the drawings that you want to start using more of. But again, we're leaving the basic elevations to for customers who have who have used this in the past, and they'll still be able to get to those drawings through their door schedule. So let's go back over to door frame elevations. Now we have the same thing for wood doors. I'll just pull one up so you can see it shows a wood door. You do the same thing, fill in the elevation, the file name, save it. This is a single door with a narrow light. Again, you can use this little note section to specify the size of the light. We're not building, I know there's all different sizes of narrow lights, 5 by 20, 3 by 33, 6 by whatever, but we're only doing the one for now, and you can specify the size here. And if you have various sizes, we can't add multiple drawings of these. So you'll probably have to create something on your own for another size, but this should cover the majority of schedules that you're going to use. Typically they all use the same size on a project. And give you an example here, there's an 8-panel wood door. So there's a lot of different ones. It even shows a Dutch door. And then under metal frames, you have the same thing, this single masonry frame, where it shows it's just a 3-sided frame. You can put in the elevation, and we do have the jamb, detail of the jamb, and you can leave it, it varies. If your jambs all have different sizes, if they use different size masonry frames, then just leave it as varies, and then you'll refer to the door schedule to see the actual jamb depth that's being used. But if all your frames are the same size, and you can type in 5 3/4 inch, or actually in this case that's the throat, so we'll make that 4 3/4, and we'll say the jamb itself is 5 3/4. And then you can add any additional notes if needed, if something you want to put in for that. And again, the same thing, create a file name, save it, and that's where it'll be saved. We also have like a double masonry frame, same thing, 4-inch head right here. Now you can do an option, it's up to you. You can do a single frame like this, just call it F or whatever your elevation is for a 4-inch head frame. And this could represent single and double frames on your door schedule. It's all up to you. Or you could create this and say that's going to be F4 maybe. You will create it, save the file. You can also use the double and use the same elevation, F4. And that way it'll represent elevations with using a double frame. And then we also have the like a drywall frame, gives you the drywall profile. And again, the same thing on the throat and jamb depth. You can change that, and you can also add some notes here. And then we come over to things like a sidelight frame. Now this says sidelight right-hand frame. That means that the sidelight is on the right-hand side of the frame. And again, we've got the jamb details. You can use this note section to describe the glass, 1/4 inch glass, and then you could put something like maybe the glass size, if you want to specify the glass size. Now again, we can only do one per schedule with these drawings. If you have anything else you might want to find, we'll have another tutorial that'll show you how these frames are actually generated using a program called SketchUp. It's a free program, and that's how all these were generated. So you can watch that tutorial and you create your own frames. But for a universal type frame, this is what you want to use. If your side lights are all the same glass size, specify what the glass size is, and then create and save the frame, and that's how it will show up. Let's go ahead and let's call this side light. I'll just say right hand for right hand frame, and we'll call this maybe SL. We'll save it and close it. Let's go ahead and refresh this. Now let's take a look at the schedule. There's the doors, and there's the side light frame with any notes that we put in here. Okay, and we also have one for a borrowed light. It's just a single light, borrowed light. You can use this for, and then just put in the size of the frame here, and save it to the file you want to give it the file name. And also transom frame, single and double. So just some additional drawings, a little more detailed than what we were using previously. Just make sure you use your refresh button to make sure after you save the file, it loads the path in here. Now if you want to change this, or you want to, if you come in here, now that I've already saved it, if I click this, it's going to tell me you cannot make any changes to the existing file. If changes are needed, you will need to remove it and recreate it. So I'll say OK, and it pulls the frame up with the everything we'd entered on it previously. So if you do need to remove a frame that you've already created, just click the button. It removes it. It deletes the file that was there, and it clears out the path. So now you can recreate it. Just go ahead and fill in all the blanks, and then save the file, and you're ready to go. So that's you covered on creating door and frame elevations. If you have any questions on this, or any suggestions to anything you'd like to have added or changed, just give us a call or email, and we'll take a look at it. So thanks again. Have a great day.